Okay friends, hi, it's Audrey from Lovecraft and I'm here with Clique Kits Studio today to do a page in my December daily spread. So I got this idea a couple of weeks ago to do a stained glass window using the alcohol inks. The Explore and Learn Alcohol Inks series, which are still, as of the filming of this video, which it is Sunday, December 6th, they're still available in the shop. So it's hard to see it in this video because it is late at night here in my studio. Or I shouldn't say late at night, it's just dark. But I got this vellum, this alcohol inks vellum, and it's a 5x7 vellum sheet. And so what it's see-through. It's like I said, it's hard to see on this video, but I'm going to connect the videos of this process. We're going to jump to that in a minute. But anyway, I got this see-through sort of like vellum that just really reminded me, the look of the alcohol inks really reminded me of stained glass windows. So I went ahead and used every single color in the kit, and I made up, I have some repeat ones. So I made up, using the vellum, I made up a color of each one. So these kind of looked like stained glass to me. So these are all the colors that I've got here, okay? And I found on Etsy, and I will put in the comment section the name of the seller because, full disclosure, I did not create this file myself. So I found on Etsy a stained glass, or sort of like a nativity scene cut file. So this is the cut file, it's printed out. What I did was I printed it out to be outside of the page protector here, and I'm also using the Christmas cheer kit from Clique Kits. It's the Christmas cheer is the Pretty Little Studio Christmas cheer kit. So I'm using this paper from the Christmas cheer kit for the back. And what I'm going to do to create this stained glass window, so you can see here, I cut this out of my Silhouette software, and I'm going to be putting this on the back once I have put it all together, so it's got some trees in the back. I'm going to be using this for the details day, or the day I'm going to be writing about my nativity scene, and how that reminds me of my grandmother. My nativity scene, just full disclosure, is a little bit not secular, I should say, because we added a few things to it. But anyway, I'm going to put the number over here probably. So I'm going to go through and do this. So now I would say that it's a pretty, alcohol inks are really easy. It's really easy to achieve this effect. I'm not sure what colors I'm going to put yet, but you can kind of see here how it's going to come out and look like a stained glass window. And like I said, I will hold some up to the light once we get light. So the way to do this is I usually trace through and I do it. Now the problem with this is because it's a very thin line, it's going to be kind of hard to trace it and then have to glue it on the back. So I'm going to have to be very careful with gluing. I have some spare paper here for gluing and tracing and doing that, but I think it's going to work out. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope. So I'm going to start with, so what I did here was I printed out the cut file because I feel like it's almost like a color by number sort of thing. So I printed out the cut file, and what I did was I kind of wrote through what each one was. So when I do each piece, I know who it goes to, because I can't trust myself to cut the right pieces of paper. Alright, so I am going to figure out what colors I'm using. I know I'm not using all of these. I probably will make another stained glass thing with the leftovers. I do know that there is one color in here. Alright, so when I was doing my alcohol inks, I have a very special way of doing them. They do get very messy. This sheet is dry, it's not rubbing off. but they did get on the back, so that's going to kind of take away from the stained glass, but it will also give a little bit a good look to the background. The back of this is not going to be as pretty as possible, but I did 2 yellows, but there is one in here that kind of looks like a skin tone that I am going to, where is it? Yeah. This is a skin tone. So now the back here got kind of muddled with all different colors. So I'm going to try to use this area for the skin. And I'm going to start with that since, and get those down. So what I'm going to do is we're going to switch over now. You're going to see how I made this part of it, the alcohol inks. And then when you get back to me here, I might go through and do some stained glass pictures, to kind of show you what my inspiration was. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, but when you get back, you'll see how I start going about this process. Okay, friends, welcome back. It's Audrey, and I am doing a project today for Clique Kits for their Crafty Crossover Challenge. So my idea is to do a stained glass window. So I'm going to use the alcohol inks kit. So these ones are there as well, but I don't know, I'm not sure if these colors are really going to go. I might use the coral berry. I have them set on the side. I might not use the lavender fields. Actually, as I'm looking at this, the coral berry might be a good one. Okay, so anyway, back to this. I'm probably not using lavender fields, but these are just the inks from both the Learn and Explore alcohol inks kit and also the add-on kit. They're alt and new inks. And the actual alcohol inks kit came with paper and this little blending tool, and it also came with half of the inks. And so this is the kit combined. These are both the add-on kit, which was just alcohol inks, and also the base kit, the Learn and Explore kit. So I am not using the paper that came in the kit. I'm using this Yupo translucent paper. This is from my stash. I bought it specifically, but because it has a translucent kind of see-through quality to it. You can use acetate sheets, although I wanted to use this more translucent paper because my idea is to make it look more like stained glass, and you can't really see in through stained glass, so I didn't want the acetate to be able to really see through. You can see through a little bit, but this is more my idea, what's coming together. Also, full disclosure, I am using an alcohol blending solution from Tim Holtz. This did not come in the kit. You can use rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol, although because we're still in the middle of a pandemic, I couldn't find that rubbing alcohol at a good price, and I didn't want to use what I had on hand. I'm also going to be using my Tim Holtz blower. This is going to blow around the alcohol ink a little bit to create that kind of fun swirly pattern. This also did not come in the kit. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. Another tip that I have for you that I kind of learned when I did this was is you want to really protect your surface. So I have a drop cloth under here. I have newspaper. If it gets on the newspaper, it is going to go right through. You can't see it as off camera, but I've got everything in my craft room covered up. I also have it on the ground. It's probably a little overkill, but alcohol inks are messy and they can stain. I also have gloves on. I'm wearing gloves so they don't stain my fingers. But one tip I found was that I have these old 12 by 12 scrapbooking cases that I used to use to store paper in. I've since moved to a different paper storage solution, so you can see here it's a little stained, but I found that it really works to have these containers here when you're doing your alcohol inks. So I am trying to figure out, I have 3 of them. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm trying to figure out how many I can stack in here to use, because they are going to overlap. I guess I can put some like this here, because I have 11 sheets that I need to get done. So I guess I can lay them on there to dry when I'm done. All right. So I'm gonna get started. I've got all my colors. My idea is, you'll see the cutout in the next portion of this video when I get to it, but my idea is just to do one color, just one color on the page, and then I'm going to cut it up and make it into stained glass. Okay, so this is paper bag is what I'm going to start with. And this is a very beautiful kind of rich brown that I used in one of my other projects. So let's get started. Alright, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to get some ink on the page. Take your blower, blow it around. It's going to go off the page, and that's why you've got it in this, whatchamacallit. That's why you have it in this tray. Okay, so my idea is to cover the whole page, but I want to drop some alcohol blending solution just a little bit on here, because what this is going to do is it's essentially going to lift it up. You can see the dots coming through, and that's kind of the effect I want to achieve to make my stained glass effect. So and this is my first time using this translucent Yupo paper. Alright, there are a few white spots on here. I'm not sure if I'm loving how this blending solution works with this paper itself, with the result that I'm trying to achieve, but it is helpful to get rid of some of those white spots. So, alright, I'm going to call this done. I'm going to gently pick this up. So, yeah, it's very, like, I'm holding it up in the light. I'm trying to be cautious with it. It is translucent, so I'm going to let that dry. I'm taking just a paper towel. I'm just going to try to clean my spread as best as I can here. Again, this is why you want to use it in a controlled environment like this tray, because you can see the ink is going right through the paper. So just put that aside, and I am done with paper bag. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to videotape here, but I'm going to speed up the video. I'm not going to narrate and talk. I'm just going to speed up the video. I'll show you what I'm using each one. So this one is called Dusk. And when I fill up my containers, I will stop the video so I can reset and restart and move these containers around and find a place where Barley's not going to get to them, that I can whatchamacallit, can't think, that I can store them. So alright, so I'm going to put on some Christmas music, get into the spirit. This is a really pretty color. I'm going to put on some Christmas music and then keep moving forward with this. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to start with sea glass here. So I'm going to put my Christmas music on and speed this up. Okay, I'm back. I didn't realize the camera wasn't level last time, so I apologize. So I'm starting now with, I had these mixed up. I'm going to do Coral Berry here. Maybe I'll do a Lavender Fizz, we'll see. But alright, I'm going to start with Coral Berry. I'm on my last tray. My space is actually pretty clean because of the precautions I took. So, let's get going here. Alexa, play Christmas music. Okay, so now you know how I made each one of these. And like I said, this is a little bit, I think I'm just going to cut this in half. Well, maybe not, we'll see. But anyway, I did find that I did test this a little bit because I have to trace it, and you can write with a pencil on this and erase it, and it's not really going to take up much of the ink. Actually, it does take it up a little bit on this eraser, so I think I want to use a different eraser. Let's use this eraser. Just to make sure I don't spread it. So let's make sure this one works too. It does come off. And okay, good. So I just gonna get some of the dirtiness of the eraser off. Alright, so this magic rub is my favorite eraser. So we're gonna put this away because I don't want to stain it and ruin it. We're gonna use this Cheap Joe's Art Supply one. So the pencil does erase off. So as I said earlier in the video, it is going to be really difficult because this is very, very thin. So the idea is you don't really want them to overlap at all. So what I have to do here, because you see this is her face, is I'm going to trace very lightly outside around her face, and that's what I'm going to cut out. And I'm tracing a little bit inside so I know, and you couldn't see that on the video, so I'm going to do it again up here because I didn't make the pencil line dark enough. Okay, so what I need to do, alright, yes, you can see in the video, is I need to trace outside of the face here because it's a very, very thin line here. So that's basically, this line is what's going to be holding the shape in place here. Alright, so now that's how I know that's where I know exactly where I need to cut this out, because you, again, you do not want any overlap. Okay. Next thing is I'm going to use a piece of spare paper here, and I am just going to erase some of the pencil lines on here, just very gently, okay? Alright. Again, you can erase them on this. It does, on the eraser, it is taking up a tiny little bit of ink, but so be it, it's okay. Okay, then the next thing you need to do is, because, so the face is going right here. Okay, so now the next thing would be, so you really don't want too much overlap here. Okay, that looks good. So I still have some stickiness left over from my a little bit more here from my silhouette. So again, so this is a little bit of a complicated project. Alright, so then what you want to do is, again, get your shape on. Make sure it fits. It looks good. Okay. And just want to run it over. You want to run it over with some glue so you can glue it down. And there you go. Alright. Good. That worked out. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and get the faces done. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the different parts. So I'm going to speed up this video and then go in and, oh, that looks really pretty. Okay, alright, so I'm going to go in and let's see here, yeah. I'm going to speed up this video and then if I have a tip or something, I'll pop back in, but for the most part, you'll see how this layout comes together. Okay, you can see for some reason I can't get baby Jesus's head like perfectly cut out. So because I'm doing a little bit more of the intricate ones first, I can go through and just kind of trim it a little bit. But be careful. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but be careful because you don't want to cut your stained glass out. So, okay. Alright, so I'm going to keep moving on with this. Alexa, play. Okay, I am done with the body parts. So it's a little bit harder than I had anticipated, but I think it's gonna come out really nice. So I'm glad I started with the body parts because I can trim them a little bit. Here probably doesn't really matter too much, but I like it to look as perfect as possible. Okay. So I'm looking at my video camera, and because it's gonna take me a while, I'm hoping that my video camera does not die. But if it does die, you get the basic idea of how to do this. And I'm thinking that these parts where it's all the robe is going to be easy because they're going to be one color. So it's going to be one big thing that I can put in there, which is really nice. So I'm going to keep on doing the smaller ones first, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the other ones. Next is kind of deciding what colors I want. I think I'm definitely going to do this for the sun. I did do 2 colors of the sun. I think I want baby Jesus to be the blue. I think I want Mary to be purple. Definitely want some brown for the hair and the staff. If I have like an orange. No, I think the sun and the background's all gonna have to be one color. I'm gonna do Joseph's robes in green, and I think that's it. Okay, so I'm debating the background, doing like a blue and making it this kind of like aqua blue and maybe yellow. We're gonna see how that turns out. But alright, so I think that these colors are not gonna be used. Alright, so I'm gonna go on, I'm gonna speed up this video again and keep on getting this done. And if I lose the video, I will come back and share how this is done. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stop the video now and then come back when it's done and do some more, just because I don't want the video to run out. Alright, see you in a few. Okay, so I charged my camera and you can see my process here. So it's just the same as in the video that you just saw before this. I just had to stop and charge my camera because it's taking me quite a while. It's probably taking me about an hour to get, to get this far. So I'm going to continue on with this and get my music started back up and get going. Alexa, play. Okay guys, Mary is giving me a really difficult time here. It's very intricate and I really want the light to shine. So if you see me picking it off camera, it's because I've got my umbrella light set up here and I am holding it up to the light to see what it looks like and trying not to overlap. So I'm having a lot of problems with, not a lot of problems, but it's just very complicated to get this this section of her clothing done. So I'm almost done. I'm really loving this project and I'm hating it at the same time, if that makes sense. So, alright, so Mary's head is giving me a really hard time. And I'm thinking that I might just... It's not going to be as see-through as I thought, but I might just cover this whole thing and do the same for Jesus. Because for some reason, I just can't get this shape cut out correctly. I'm going to try it one more time here. Okay, so last up is Baby Jesus, and I am debating actually if I just want to cover, because Mary gave me such a hard time, if I just want to cover if I want to cover his face here, and maybe not the hands, but because it's not going to be, I'm holding this up to the light, it's not going to be as see-through, but she just gave me such a hard time that I don't know if I can get him done properly. So we'll see. We'll see here how particular I get. Alexa, play. Okay friends, so I'm going to finish this up here. I apologize the last video cut off. So because you can see a lot of the glue marks, because there's a lot of glue marks on here, and I want this to lay properly in my December daily album. I could clean it off with glue here, but what I did was on the back I put a piece of transparency film, and I'm also going to do that for the front here. It's just going to give it a clean work surface. So this is laser paper transparency film here. I have both laser and inkjet on hand. It's just really kind of a clear acetate. I am going to be using a vellum transparency tape. You are going to be able to see the glue just a little bit, but it's okay. I'm not putting too much on. I'm just putting enough just to tack it down a little bit here on the edges, just so I'm putting this right through the circles there, just so it stays down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to lay this down here. Oh, I just want to make sure there's no dirtiness. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I'm laying this down directly on top, taking care to try to make sure it lays evenly on there. Alright, there we go. Oops, it's actually got a... Alright, there we go. Okay, so it is down, and then I am just going to go ahead and trim it. Alright, next up I want to cut through the holes here. So I have a crocodile. I think it's called a crocodile. This might be, it's a 1/4" hole punch. I'm just gonna go through and chomp those holes. Alright, there we go. Beautiful. Came out perfect. I'm very happy with how this came out. Alright, so next up, actually I think I'm going to leave this here. Okay, next up, what I want to do is figure out what kind of number I want. So I have this stamp set, and I was debating, just spit on it, that was nice. Okay, I was debating stamping the number 9. I'm not, but I have stays, so I have stays on ink. On the transparency, you would have to use stays on ink. I could emboss it, but I'm not sure how that's going to work with the transparency, and I really don't want to do anything that's going to compromise this piece here now. Alright, see, I'm being anal. I'm clearing that glue off a little bit, because I don't want to be seeing a ton of glue, but it's the best I can do. Alright. Okay, so I was debating stamping this number 9 with stays on here. You know what I'll do? I'm going to do this. Let us... Alright, so this is the number 9 on the transparency. This is how it would look on here. It will retain the see-through quality, but I really don't like that. I just don't like that. Alright, so, well, that's done. Alright, so let's not do that. I'm going to have to clean this off later. Okay, so next is, so I'm trying to figure out what number, because I want to put the number 9. This is my 9th story. So I've been using mainly this pretty little studio Christmas kit here. And so these are the number 9s that come with the kit. So that stamp set, just by the way, is not from Cocoa Date, or Clique Kits. Alright, so there's that one. I could pop it up with pop dots. Alright, so I've been using the Pretty Little Studio Christmas Cheer Kit from Clique Kits here for this layout. And I could use this 9 and pop it up with pop dots. But let me just look through my stash and see. Alright, here's my stash with all my numbers. Here are the number 9s. And let me see what I've got in my stash and which one I think I will like the most. Alright, so these were not from, alright, there's a number 9. Oh, I kind of like that one because that would still give you that see-through quality. I tend to like bigger numbers though, bigger standout numbers for my December daily. This one I think might be decent. The wooden one looks good. I'm gonna say maybe to that one. I was thinking of the gold one too, just because this kind of warrants a gold one. So I'm gonna say maybe to that one. There is this see-through transparency number, but I don't really like those very much. There's this one. No. I'm really indecisive about the number. And there's that one that looks kind of, actually that one kind of looks neat. No, I think I'm gonna go with the wooden one. Gonna go with the wooden one. I'm not gonna overthink it, just gonna go with the wooden one. Alright, so let me put these back. Alright, so I am just going to adhere this 9 with some red line tape, or not red line tape. Oh, damn it! Broke it. Alright, because I don't want to mess this one up, I am going to use some red line tape on it because it is just a little bit safer. Okay, yeah, I just had to write out the number just to make sure that was number 9. Okay. Alright, so there's that. That is this part of the album. So I'm going to put this away now before it gets dirty. One thing I want to show you, because you're going to see the next part here, is see the back with the trees. So I am going to be doing the next part actually, you know what? I'm not going to put this away yet. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking, putting away my album. Alright. Okay, so the next part is I'm making the story really very super simple. Okay? So I do have the leftover paper for the trees, but it's not cut the way I would like it. So I'm going to be using the 6x6 Christmas pack that came in. So basically, this is my nativity scene. It's a very non-traditional nativity scene. It's a 4x6 photo, and I'm using a 6x8 page protector or page pocket that has 2 4x6s. So this is my story, and I'm just going to keep it very simple, because the back of this, I'm just going to make it just match this. This is really the star of my layout, so I don't really want to distract from this at all. So I'm using the tree paper, but because the tree paper didn't cut properly, or well, it cut, but it's not lined up properly because I want the trees to go up and down, I'm breaking into this 6x6 packet of paper here, and I'm going to pull out the tree one. So now, these trees are a little bit smaller, but that's okay. I'm just going to deal with that. So, I'm going to cut this to, well, this is already 6. I'm going to cut this down to a 4-inch size. There we go. And this, just to give it some dimension, because it's right on there, I'm going to use some pop dots. So pop dots, these are pop dots from my stash. I'm going to use some pop dots just to pop it up here. So the story, what I usually do is I journal it. I've been doing a document December as I'm calling it December Daily, but really as opposed to December Daily. I'm telling one story each day until December 26th, but it's not necessarily it's a story related to December, but did not necessarily happen on that day. So talking about my nativity set is a really good story to tell, because the picture I didn't take on the 9th. But this nativity set is out all year long. Alright, so I put some pop dots on. Again, I'm finishing this up, making it very simple here. So the story, I usually write it in Word, and then I pull it into Photoshop Elements, and I do it. So I'm just eyeballing it, we're gonna line it up. That's it, popped it up, put it in here. And there you go. There is, so that's the story page, and then there is the layout. Alright, so I'm going to move this, let's do this here, let's put this over here, let's move this over here so you can see it a little bit better on the thing. So it's very, it's hard to, you can see through it. It's hard too, and that was what I wanted to achieve, but it's very, so there we go. Perfect. I'm really loving how this came out. One more thing, if you guys follow me, you know that I always encourage everyone to sign their work. I didn't sign this because I'm going to sign the whole album at the very end. So there you go. Voila. Thanks for watching, friends. Merry Christmas.